been treating it. Yeah, you've been treating it.
Pilot who's also in the hands of ISIS, and they clearly want that pilot back. No word this morning on the fate of that pilot. And here in Tokyo, a rally planned today, certainly turning into a vigil. Ken?
All right, thanks so much. Julie Gale in Tokyo. Officials in Montreal are refusing to allow a new Islamic community center to open. The center is a controversial imam who preaches fundamentalist Sharia law. But some lawyers say he has no right to stop it. Kate McKenna has the story.
Solemn and flanked by city officials, Bernard Réal says they won't allow an agent of radicalization to have his own platform.
I'm not going to have anyone in the place to the men to camp in my borough and to have the kind of fun that we have.
He's talking about Hamza Shawi, an imam with controversial views. Shawi posts videos of his preaching on YouTube. In them, he supports fundamentalist Sharia law and says that women are not equal to men. Shawi reportedly preached at the same mosque attended by Martin Chogulu, the man who ran over 2 military personnel, killing one of them late last year. There's no evidence that the two men knew each other, but still, Mayor Denis Coderre had no issue linking Shawi to radicalization.
It's not about to judge a religion today. It's about what an individual has in mind and what's his plan.
Earlier this week, Quebec's Immigration Minister, Kathleen Wyle, took a hardline approach.
To do that, Clean Energy Initiative. Have a listen.
This is not a trade-off. To trade our environment and our economy. Quite the opposite. Getting this right is a major economic opportunity for those who are smart enough to seize it.
So they're not necessarily picking up on that cue, talking about the need for energy consumed in North America to be produced in North America. Fairly thinly veiled reference to the Keystone XL pipeline. That, of course, has not been approved by the Obama administration. The president said he will veto it when that bill that he approved here comes to his desk. They're making the argument, he said, for more infrastructure. This in an environment that saw, allegedly, Stephen Harper postpone a meeting that would have seen Obama and Mexico come to Ottawa, postponed at least until the fall, perhaps because of some tensions around the approval of the Keystone XL. Ken?
Interesting. All right, thanks so much. John Marcotte in Washington. In Mexico, 9 babies found alive after an explosion this week at a hospital have undergone DNA tests to help reunite them with their parents. The testing was necessary because the babies weren't wearing identity bracelets. There's a blast killed 3 people and injured dozens more. It happened during a gas delivery. Police have detained the truck crew involved. Tens of thousands marched through Spain's capital today to protest austerity measures. It's the biggest show support yet for a far-left party on comparison with the new government in Greece. Although Spain is emerging from an economic slump, nearly a quarter of the workforce is unemployed. The basic essentials in most people's grocery carts: milk, bread, fruit, and vegetables. On Canada's north, they can be priced out of reach. A community organization has boycotted a line of grocery stores in Nunavut today. They're angry over huge markups, and they say the savings from a federal food subsidy aren't being passed on to northern consumers. Elise Skura has the story.
Walk into a grocery store in Nunavut, and you'll walk out with a hefty bill. Food can be 3 or 4 times the southern price.
Enjoying, and I know that food or using a basic will cost like $300 or $500.
For years, northern protesters have been raising their voices, calling for lower food costs. But they say no one is listening. So today's protest looks more like this. This time, they want people to stay away from Northwest Company stores. The chain owns 122 stores in Canada and 33 in rural Alaska.
It's really power, and it's really greedy to charge people prices for food and to continue to gouge food prices.
But retailers say they are also working hard to save people money. The Northwest Company insists every penny from the food subsidy program Nutrition North goes to customers.
I believe additional funding is needed to make the program sustainable and to have the impact that people are looking for. So more funding
see an additional.
I drew this in about 1993, give or take a year. So we're more than 20 years after the fact. I wonder about making mistakes. I worry about making mistakes.
He wants to marry a white boy. Me. Now, how do you think he'd feel if his folks with a black in-law? What do you think people would say when we met if they knew my mother? They'd spit at me. On my shoulder. Sarah, you know that's not true. It is. That's why you mustn't know her. I don't want anybody to know her. He doesn't even know where I live. I pretend I'm a rich girl with strict parents. I'm to find out. I'm going to be everything he thinks I am. I look at him, and that's all that matters. You're not to say anything either. I won't, you know I won't. I never did. I think if Mama ever found out, she'd never stand. I don't care.
There's Mama.
Your mother doesn't own me.
I guess I won't be.
I've been out with my boyfriend. I've seen your nice young folks.
Bottom yogurt creams combination? That's a dream come true. Astro Original Fruit Bottom Yogurt. All natural yogurt, plus a layer of exciting fruit on the bottom. Absolutely dreamy.
Want fresh fruit that's fun? At Pita Pit, you get your choice of fresh veggies, sauces, cheese, and grilled meats rolled up in a thin pocket pita. Pita Pit. Find one near you.
The following program contains scenes of violence and deals with mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Detective James called to see Master Bruce.
Detective.
Bruce. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I would have come by earlier, but
saw Selena Kyle. She told me she lied. She saw nothing.
Yes? That's what she told me. She made up the story to get out of juvie.
Well, she could be saying this now because she's scared. It would be understandable after what happened.
No. She doesn't scare easily. I believe her. She didn't see it coming.
Look, this is unfortunate. It doesn't mean we're back.
Beep, 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 beep. Yeah. Much time is spent, just figuring out what to do next. It's a long journey doing a page of artwork. And at a lot of thought goes into each little bit. So right now I'm just going to do a bit of lettering, a bit more lettering at the bottom of the page. So after the lettering, the next step is, I guess, can be, erasing the guidelines and all that around the. So that pulls it out a bit, makes it look a little bit more like magic. Can't have enough erasing in a given page. I'll return to erasing many, many, many times. As I get ready for the next step, which is balloons and borders, panel frames. I'm going to do thought balloons first. Hopefully they pop. I'm just doing that first because of just might the word balloons I might not want to overlap the panel, but here I did, just to keep it balanced a little bit. You know, I mean, some of these aren't perfect. I mean, none of this is perfect. It's not the goal or the reflective of my ability. But you know, we're getting there. Often a big sigh when I draw.
And that's where we come in. Canada Post delivers more parcels
I wanted to look back and check on borders, how I was doing them.
the online world.
Consistency, trying to be somewhat consistent. Yeah, I was doing it with this guy, this baby.
His savings, and one number sunscreen to try me for his already paid for vacation. 45! Savings and great rates, no fees and no minimums. It's that simple.
Earn 2.5% interest on new deposits until March 31st. Tangerine. Forward banking.
Roll up the rim to win is back. With 48 million prizes, like Toyota Camrys, Visa prepaid cards, LG OLED TVs, and millions of coffee and food prizes, everyone could win with our great tasting coffee.
It's the Bricks famous Friends and Family Mattress Sale. It's 50% off this City Posturepedic Crown Jewel Pro Back Pocket Gold.
Yeah, let's give it a little bit more look over here.
Posturepedic said only $5.99. The Bricks, saving you more.
I mean, they say all babies are beautiful, but this kid could be used in the hospital to reduce vomiting.
Mom,
This is nice.
Bonnie may be lost without Albert,
She is not dealing with this death in a normal way.
but she may have found the next best fling.
It sounds like you're trying to turn me into some other guy.
Your problem with that?
Well, it depends. This other guy. Would you sleep with him?
Mom, 7:30 Thursday.
Yeah, borders really add a whole level of excitement.
Nina, if I reach for you and you don't see it,
There we go for now. Got some coffee brewing in the background for a little nourishment coming up. this little pop balloon. Yep. Pages can have action, more or less. On this page, we're doing a little bit of time travel. Have a party scene. Hughead is excluded, goes off to sulk. Hug, just open up. It's me. I got the stuff. Should have him saying, Dave! Dave's not here. Alright, so on this page we've finished the lettering and the borders, and now I have to think about inking or finishing or redrawing. There's a number of different things that can go on at this stage. This is the panel that we're coming up, and of course when we think about what we're doing, we're thinking about something that's has some kind of consistency with the previous pages. And like in particular what I was doing with Lucky's hair here, and with the new Hughead look, which I can still alter to a degree, but should remain at least recognizable. Okay, so a little about this project. Hello. It was yeah, a friend of mine wrote up the story, and I illustrated it, and or I did the layouts for it, discussed it with the writer, and was concerned with some aspects of it, and eventually I got a finished pencil. Well, I don't know how finished my pencils are, but I got a penciled version over to my Inca, the guy who I trust the most, Darren Marinick, who I worked with before on Big Break comics and on Johnny Fast and on Ardor, God of Lust. Great comics. And so I gave it to him, and it sort of sat for a while because it was sort of in limbo for the longest time, and then sort of realized he might not be able to get to it ever, and then he found it because like all artists, he's got lots of stuff stored all over the place. And so I decided once I got it back, finish up this baby. It may never see a published light of day per se, but it might. but I did want to, you know, put on my own inking ability to the test, and you know, see what had changed since 1993 when it was originally penciled. So that's over 20 years, and you know, so it's interesting going back to the material. You know, it's part nostalgia, but also part desecration. The tough part of inking is always, you know, that you're going to be erasing something and creating something new that may or may not, you know, compare with what was intended. But we're, you know, giving it the best shot. So again, this is the panel in question. That's the one that that's the, you know, in any page, you know, it's the first line of art that you know, sets the stage. And you know, there's some other challenges on the page, like the house and the apartment building, you know, and making it as realistic as possible. You know, a lot goes in at the inking stage, you know, to really you know, flesh out the page and bring it to life. And I want to do it honor as much as possible, and you know, and you know, for good or ill, it's where my art's taken me, and it's where it's at right now. And so that's where we're at. In particular, some of the questions come up on, you know, what's going to be brush, what's going to, you know, be a marker line. You know, just noticing the face is, you know, it's a lot more. I did something, you know, really different with that face. You know, but then again, I like the way it's done here. So the tough choice is, you know, do you keep it as it is, or do you change it? You know, will people understand the difference? You know, because man, I like that. That's just groovy. Okay, so before getting into the info, we're going to just do a little bit of a repenciling, and which means you have to sort of, you know, visualize whether or not you want to go for different kinds of feelings. You really need to deconstruct. I was gonna say it's kind of like killing your baby. I don't know, but you know, who wants to kill their baby? It's a bad idea. Of course, it's a bad idea. But that's what artists have to do. They have to be ruthless. They have to say, "Is it worth it?" And go, "Yeah, it's worth it, man." To make slight changes, accept it's changing, live with it, live with it. Yeah, particularly that, like here, there's, you know, that nose, eh? trying to check out for the next time these guys appear. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, maybe he doesn't appear. So that's cool.
We know it's a spot he does not want to be in. He wanted to be back on the blue line. How long do you see Buckland being up there? Does he spend the rest of the season up there?
Oh man, you know, some days you just gotta. You know, but everything's like a new opportunity to a degree. And you have to just sort of say, look man, we're moving on. We're moving on. And like once you commit, you know, it's easier. It's tough though, eh? Like killing your baby. What you killing your baby for? You crazy or something? I still haven't figured out what kind of shirts he's wearing. Yeah, I mean, inking something like that. Oh yeah, he's doing a little bit of a kind of thing happening.
No longer available. Thanks so much for the time, team. I'll leave those talking Jets with you. And coming up now, we look at the Jets' last game. In this latest edition of Jet Killers, we take a look back at the Big Ten Fever.
Yeah, we'll just hello, how are you?
Hello. Oh. 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets.
Uh-huh. 5 pages. You can call them.
This one.
Huh?
I read this one.
Oh, yes.
Is this a story?
Yes, Mom. So, what do you think of the story?
Well, well, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know where it can go from.
Where it is. Uh-huh.
From 5.
Time passes. We got a result. Gretel.
Find everyday value for just $1.75 at A&W. A tunnel journey far from home, trip spoiling fun. But what if you don't know the local word for fun? That's why we're here, to help our card members find a doctor who speaks their language in the middle of the night.
See, the thing about this page, and I'm trying to make it, take it from a cartoony phase to a, something else. Destroy this.
That's why Pedigree Dry has the Vital Pocket, formulated with increased protein, omega-6s, and added prebiotics and glucosamine in the same great taste your dog loves. Because a healthy dog on the inside is a happy dog on the outside.
Okay, just a second here.
But the calm is soon shattered. Clinky has spotted something suspicious. The family leaps into action. Everyone has a role.
Oh.
The babysitters move quickly to protect the pups. Her daughters are useful now, but they have brought trouble in their way. 3 roving males from a rival group are looking to mate with Clinky's daughters. These are unwelcome visitors. If they break into the group, they could even try to overthrow her partner, Ningaloo, and disrupt the Kung Fu. Clinky's pups would be at their mercy. The stakes couldn't be higher. Clinky is on the offensive, backed up by Ningaloo.
Actually, this is fun part. Inking is fun. It's all creative.
The rest of the family follow. The males slink away. For now,
Noses as ever the biggest challenge.
but the roving males could be back at any time. The meerkats are so comfortable having observers around that simply by being amongst them, the team can discover the most remarkable things. Unlike the females, male meerkats begin to leave their families when they are 3 years old. They
groups, and Tim has always wanted to understand how these roving males get on. The rover has got his eye on a female from a rival group. It's a risky business.
They've been chased repeatedly by the males from this group, and if they can catch him, there's a danger they are killing. But he's absolutely not thinking of feeding. His mind's on sex.
Roving males are so overcome with lust that they rarely stop to eat.
They'll just stay on the edge and they'll keep coming and keep going again. And he'll try and get access to one of the females behind the bush.
This rover has pushed his luck too far and has disturbed a male foraging on the edge of the group. His cover is blown.
Oh look, here the group is in war dance, so the group are now actually taking this seriously, and instead of one male chasing him, the whole group are now chasing him. From meerkat, the whole group war dancing at you is extremely intimidating, and it's not difficult to understand why he keeps his distance when the whole group have their eyes on him.
A dominant male's only chance of breeding is to leave his own group and either join or found another one with unrelated females. The chances of success are slim. As the temperature rises over the Kalahari, a drought is imminent. The Kung Fu are still waiting for the rains to arrive. Pups, Squirt and Weenie are now 6 weeks old and fully weaned. They need to find solid food somewhere in this bone-dry desert. They accompany their family on foraging trips, but they're still too young to catch their own food. They make endless begging calls, but their parents, Clinky and Dingaloo, don't respond. They're not being ignored. In the newly restored family, there are 25 other meerkats available to help. Subordinate helpers give away up to half the food they catch. They look after the pups' needs as much as their own. But Squirt and Weenie won't always get this much help. Over the next 2 months, they will have to learn to feed themselves. As Tim's project grew in size, the researchers who joined the team were rapidly moving into new areas. It was clear that a complex form of cooperation is at the heart of the meerkat family. Now, some of the scientists...
So I have his cloak on here in the pencils, but I haven't decided whether or not to put it in yet. I still can have a little bit of flexibility there. Haven't decided if I want to do the shading a little different yet in the eyes.
And how they innovate. In this experiment, a scorpion is served
I like it.
meerkat in a modified lunchbox.
Bum, 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 bum.
To get to the snack, its instinct is to try.
You know, the thing is, you know, once you think, you know, it's forever changed.
But some meerkats can learn to put aside that instinct and take a different approach. There's another way in. Turn the lid.
Trying not to do too much cross hatching. Unless it, you know, really serves a purpose. I will leave that for the moment.